Hey guys, Jeff.
Todd. And Todd, yeah.
We're still here.
We're still here.
Awesome. So now we're talking about the failure wall. And this can come in many forms. It can come quick, but oftentimes I find the failure wall starts before you even start. So you can be watching these videos and go, oh, these guys seem nice, this is interesting, I'd like to get going, but there's still that inertia, there's still that, how do I get off just that first step? There can be a lot of reluctance, a lot of it could be ego-based, where it's, God, I'm just not I don't look good, it's gonna be hard. You put all these failure words in your mind before you even start. So first it's to be aware what dialogue is running in your brain. What are you telling yourself subconsciously? If you actually put pen to paper and you're starting to think and watch these videos about how to improve your health, is there a reluctance? Would you write down, this sounds hard, I've tried it before, it doesn't work, why is this gonna be any differently? This is different because you have peers talking to you, just real life stuff.
Yeah, and I don't think Jeff has a failure wall. I think he's been the same within the same 5 pounds or 10 pounds since you were in high school.
5 down, 5 up, so 10
yeah, right. So I'm going to talk about the failure wall because I've had it a couple times, right? I went from, super in shape, eat anything, ate everything, hitting golf balls over 300 yards, what they called the flat belly. I mean, I had the world by the tail, and then I hit a failure wall where things were good, and let me just have a bigger steak, and let me just, have an extra beer. I know I'm not going to drink during the week, but let me have a drink, because it's Cinco de Mayo or, whatever. It just got worse. And I will tell you that I had a real failure wall, which, you know what? You may have one too, in that stress. Right. So my wife and I, we raised 4 children. That was stressful enough. Being married this long, stressful enough. Then you have a child who's super sick, right? And fighting for her life for not 1 year, not 2 years, 14 years, right? Trying to stay alive. And, you can't, it's hard to maintain. I was a stress eater. I was a stress eater, a stress drinker, stressed everything. I was pissed off. There was a lot of things that created my first failure wall, right? And then the second failure wall came. Then I started getting back into it a little bit, but then the second failure wall came when our daughter passed away. And, we're not the only ones to lose a child, so I can't have a pity party all day and all night. I got to get it together. But I still couldn't get there, right? But that blood test that I talked about, I got it going again. And guess what? The failure wall did creep up on me when I was just 2 weeks in, and I didn't want to do the work. I didn't want to wake up at 5:15. I didn't want to set a schedule. I wanted to drink during the week. I wanted to drink on the weekends. I wanted to eat pizza. There's stuff I wanted to do that crept in, and that failure wall was ever present. And after I got through that second wall, and I'm like, I'm going to knock it down, and I'm going to keep going. Let me tell you, guys, you can do it, and it's difficult, but man, it's what separates you from everybody else. It's when you start looking and feeling better, your friends are going to be like, hey, man, yeah, you're looking great, you're doing great, I'm proud of you. But if you're this out of shape and you got one foot in the grave, or you can't count on 5, 10, 20, 30 years, we're going to have to reset now to make sure that we can get as much out of life as we possibly can.
That's why I love making these videos with Todd, because we're just so different people. Even though it's fun to reconnect with him, it's like, oh wow, you're kept in shape, you look great. So my version of the failure wall could be, you can tap into if you have a little OCD, a little bit of Rain Man thing going on. So Todd mentioned by weight. So if you play a game with a frame to it, which in this case, I'm going to allow myself to go, my set point is 180. I just feel good at that weight. I could be a different weight. It's not unrealistic. If I had some friends that are, let's say they're 250 and they say, I want to get down to 190. I was like, well, is that realistic as a 50-year-old, 60-year-old, whatever you are? Pick a weight, a fighting weight that you feel good, that's reasonable to maintain, but still have fun. So I tease about my 5 pounds, 175 to 185, and I do a Rain Man approach, which means I go buy food every week at Publix. Guess what? They have a scale. I jump on the scale, gets up to 183, 184, I immediately that week temper the red wine, temper cereal, temper whatever stuff I know is the bread in the morning, the easy stuff. When it goes back down, guess what? I compensate and I go back up. But the point is to really focus on not the failure, but what is the failure trap specific to you.
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See ya.